Hi, it's Dwyer, RichardDwyer.com, GamblersAdvisory.com. Today is Friday, May the 3rd, 2019. Let's talk cryptocurrency, but first remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now understand, cryptocurrency doesn't operate in a vacuum, right? And right now, people might not be thinking of the debt burden being carried by the United States of America and globally in the right context. Understand, if you had credit cards that carry a rate of interest, and if your income stays the same, you're working at the same job, and if your debt burden increases, let's say you're using those credit cards and you're running up the debt, then just understand, at a certain point in time, depending on the level of debt you have, the bank might raise the interest rate on your credit cards. The bank might say, you're a bigger credit risk today. Given that your income is roughly the same and your debt has changed for the worse, you're a bigger credit risk. So we have to recognize that with an interest rate hike. Now, in the world we live in, believe it or not, the central banks have been doing the opposite. Rates have been cut. There's talk right now of further cuts. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, is hoping that the Federal Reserve, the central bank here, cuts rates to spur economic growth, in part to help his reelection campaign. Well, understand that that's just destructive economically. The debt right now, just in the United States, and we're doing better than most countries, cannot be paid back with current dollars. You have some folks who are creditors, who don't think of themselves as such, people who are owed pensions. The pension debt in the United States, conservatively, is greater than $4 trillion right now. Understand, because pension assets are really a mix of investments, stocks and bonds, if the stock market drops, and folks, let me tell you, sooner or later the business cycle ends and the stock market will drop. If the stock market drops, that pension debt is going to increase even more, because the payout is supposed to be in dollars, converted from stocks and bonds. Understand, if the value of the stocks and bonds held by pension funds decreases, they still owe a set dollar amount to pension fund recipients. So there's going to be an increased shortfall. There's going to be even more debt put on the system. I was talking to a good friend the other day, and he was very proud of the fact that his pension fund was 90% funded. I wanted to say to him, wow, you know what 90% funded means? That means 1 out of 10 recipients wouldn't be able to get paid. Not only that, when someone says, yeah, my pension fund is 90% funded, what they should add is, at these current stock market valuations, right? The stock market drops 5%. Where does the pension shortfall drop to? Could be greater depending on the individual stocks and bonds being held by the pension fund. So now you have some world-class, big-time hedge fund managers. One of them is one of the best investors in history, Ray Dalio. And he came out the other day and he said, look, people need to realize that we might be in a low interest rate world for quite some time. That modern monetary theory, which is nothing more than we're going to just print as much fiat currency as we need, might be inevitable at this point. Understand, too, you have some influential and new members of Congress, AOC, for example, who support modern monetary theory. Right now, they're practicing it in Japan. Folks, from my perspective, it's a dismal failure. It's designed to fail. Just look at how much of the Japanese economy now is being owned by Japan's central bank. So understand, the debt that's out there today, especially the pension debt, eventually is going to be paid back with watered down dollars. Right? Look at your dollar. Just understand it's worth less today than it was 20 years ago. Understand it's going to be worth even less 20 years from now. How does New Jersey, Illinois, Kentucky, Connecticut, just to name 4 states that have significant shortfalls in their pension programs, how do they pay back pension recipients? They'll pay them back with watered down dollars. Here's the money we promised you. In dollars, right? Denominated in dollars. The catch is, of course, the dollars are worth less. So that $40,000 annual pension payment you thought you were going to get might actually be worth $15,000 in today's money. Now, against that backdrop, just understand that the winner long term is going to be sound money. Money with a limited supply. People are so turned around these days, they don't even realize that gold and silver are money. It's unbelievable, right? They've been money longer than the existence of the United States of America. Well, what I want people to understand is for your money to be successful in the future, it can't be subject to the whims of politicians, such as those in Japan, who are just printing and printing and printing up the local currency. Right? You do that, you separate yourself from the bond market. Who's going to lend you money? If you're going to pay them back less than they've lent, right? That's unsustainable in the long term. I don't care what's happening in Europe right now. So the minute I know that you have a printing press and you're just printing it up based on the whims of politicians like AOC, you're not getting my money. You know what's going to end up getting people's money? Money that's in limited supply. Not dollar-denominated money, but gold and silver-denominated money. Bitcoin and Dash-denominated money. If you owe me $40,000, I don't want you to fire up the printing press over by the mint and then just give me the equivalent of Monopoly play money. Give me money, give me $40,000 that's worth considerably less than the $40,000 we contracted for years ago. right? Just understand, with good cryptocurrency, not all cryptocurrency, you have to research the crypto. With limited supply cryptocurrency, if I promise to pay you a Bitcoin, in the future, when I pay you that Bitcoin, you know there's a limited supply of Bitcoin, just like there's a limited supply of gold, right? There's a limited supply of Bitcoin. And so you'll know that Bitcoin as money is vastly superior to fiat currency that anyone can print up, or at least any government. Let's also talk about crypto more closely. Understand that decentralized beats centralized. You don't want a situation where some corporate board, let's say Facebook, has issued cryptocurrency, right? And then, of course, depending on their profitability, their needs, their wants, can just go out there and print more of it, right? So understand, you're going to hear a lot about JP Morgan or Facebook or some other corporations coming up with their own cryptocurrency. Let's be smart about that. You don't want a corporate board determining the quantity or the price of the cryptocurrency that they're issuing. What you want is the decentralized marketplace. That's the most robust mechanism. The beauty of Bitcoin, the beauty of Dash, is that you know they have limited supplies. You also know that 4 people in a back room or at a corporate meeting can't set the price for the cryptocurrency. Rather, the millions of people, the billions of people on the globe are setting the price in a marketplace, right? That's how you prevent price manipulation. You have a decentralized, widely distributed cryptocurrency that's not subject to the whims of politicians, but that's subject to the laws of supply and demand. So right now, we're at a stage where people are figuring out that the fiat dollars in their wallet are unreliable. They're less reliable than the very cryptocurrency that people were criticizing in the past, right? In my opinion, crypto winter is over. In my opinion, you're going to have a lot of institutional money flocking to cryptocurrency. Quite frankly, the political appointees who are heading up many of these pension funds over time are going to realize what Michael Novogratz realized, that their assets are actually better off in cryptocurrency than they are in fiat currency, right? If you have pension reserves, why would you want them in a currency that's going to depreciate in value, right? The debt right now globally is fiat currency denominated. You know, as fiat currency is used to pay that debt, you understand that the fiat currency itself is going to lose value because they're going to print more of it. All you have to do, again, is look at Japan, right? So, as I've told my friends, at this point in history, you need to have some of your investments in gold, silver, and good crypto. And good crypto to me is crypto like Bitcoin, right? Where you have a huge network effect. Everyone understands this is cryptocurrency's default standard, right? use the words gold standard. Widely accepted, great network, limited supply, 4 people in a back room can't determine its price. You're not subject to a corporate board voting on, the supply of the cryptocurrency. You understand exactly how many Bitcoin are ever going to be minted, that there's limited supply, and that the price will be determined by the marketplace. You'll actually have price discovery. That is vastly superior to the manipulated markets that we have now. The situations where the President of the United States nominates Stephen Moore to be on the Federal Reserve, finds out that Stephen Moore doesn't want the rate cut that the president wants, and then has the nomination yanked back. Right? You mean to tell me I'm supposed to feel reassured by that? You mean to tell me as I look around and I see all this dollar-denominated debt, I see states with no way to pay back their pension obligations. I see states like Illinois right now that have conservatively a 40% shortfall in their pension fund. And you mean to tell me that that's supposed to be more reassuring to me than having gold and silver? Let's also be clear, too, depending on your risk tolerance. Let's say you're one of these people who believes that crypto's too new, even though Bitcoin's been around for a decade. Right? Let's say you're thinking crypto's too new. I don't feel confident dealing with anything that's online, anything computer related. Okay, great. That's why you have gold and silver. How many centuries have gold and silver been used as money? I'm guessing much longer than the tenure of your current government. So I remain extremely bullish on gold, silver, and good crypto. Right? I encourage you to think about the assumptions you have. Right now, people are hot and bothered over the fact that Tether is only 72% backed. Well, how backed with actual reserves is the Federal Reserve, folks? Right? I would venture a guess that the number is less than 20%. So due to the superiority of cryptocurrency, gold and silver, due to the superiority of sound money over fiat currency, I believe you need to research gold, silver, and good crypto carefully. I personally like, in the crypto space, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Monero, right? I like privacy-centric coins. Understand, too, Dash is about to drop evolution, where you'll be able to send money as easily as you send email, right? Just like I can, find someone's email address, right? Bob@google.com, and then send Bob@google.com an email. I'll be able to just punch in Bob@google.com off my phone and send him some Dash. That's going to happen in a matter of months, right? A matter of months. So when you're hearing that Facebook is getting together with credit card companies, the minute they start talking about needing a credit card for a financial transaction, you'll understand that the technology that's being suggested by these centralized cryptocurrencies isn't even modern. It's not even current. It's dated. Not only that, if I'm going to fool around with the world of Visa, MasterCard, then there's a company out there, Equisex, Equicex. Again, that's Equicex, that likely will provide you with much greater privacy. Much greater privacy. than you would get using some of the cards being proposed by some of these centralized cryptocurrencies, right? JP Morgan wants your business. So they want you to use their bank in tandem with using their cryptocurrency. Understand the entire purpose of decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin is to eliminate the need for a bank. Think about it. That's what I believe. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comments section of this video. Thanks for stopping by.